Dang. This hat is looking good, fool. Shout out to the Ripsaw boys because might be doing a little collab with them. I haven't been here in a while. I apologize. There is 30 subscribers on the YouTube now, I believe. That's awesome. Thank you guys for supporting and all the positive comments. I love it. I have not been able to podcast as much as I thought I would be. I've been trying to run a business, which is freaking crazy. My bad, 34 subscribers. That's freaking sweet. So I want to kind of keep this channel separate from my regular YouTube channel. I don't want to mix them up too much because I don't want, if people are there to see me cut trees, I don't want to throw a podcast on them. And, I mean, whether they choose to watch it or not, that's fine. But for organizational purposes, I'd rather split them up and have two different accounts. I've been busy. I've been busy in the tree business, learning lessons, eating some shit sandwiches, having some good sandwiches too. Their business is ruthless, that's for sure. If you don't have it all your ducks in a row, sometimes I think I made the leap a little early, but if I didn't make the leap, then I probably would never. It's insane how fast you can burn through money in business, especially if you have jobs in succession where you're not making a profit. It's very easy to do on a miscalculation. So I'm learning those lessons. Yeah, it's been such a blessing. I'm 100% happier than where I was prior to this in the corporate world. It's been a blessing. It's been awesome. I'm trying to find different words to use than awesome and cool. Running your own business, there are trade-offs. It's not all positive, and I'm not a negative person. I don't like to be negative, but there are certain trade-offs from having a job for somebody else to running your own show. Some are good, some are bad. And if you don't get work, that's not good. So I haven't had a job in the last week, but I went to New York for my brother's wedding. He got married. That was awesome. But other than that, I was using a service from Home Advisor and Angie Leads I talked about in the last podcast. To be extremely honest with you all, I don't like it. I paid them. They had a promotional deal going on. I paid them $750 for $1,000 in credits. So that $750 yielded me $1,400 in jobs and a lot of wasted time with leads that went to nowhere. And then if you file the proper, and it's not paperwork, like in the application, if you go to get credit for it, if it goes to an answering machine, that's a lead. That's technically, I guess, you reached out to the customer, they didn't get back to you, okay, that's a lead. But if it does anything else, then I guess they reimburse you. But if you reject so many of them, then you get flagged, and those have to go through a review before you get credit back for them. I've had a very not good experience with Home Advisor. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense for the amount of money they want for the amount of jobs you get in return. It almost, for me, it's been a wash. So going forward, I'm going to source leads in a different way through search engine optimization, which I've kind of set up before with a different company. And I'm gonna just start door knocking and going door to door and seeing, if people need tree service, not annoyingly, but if there's trees where somebody needs attention, I'm gonna go. I have some door hangers set up, so we'll see how that goes. And I have a couple estimates out right now, but things get a little tight from time to time. I launched the Let It Run hat those of you who have purchased a hat, thank you so much. I'll throw the picture up there of what it looks like. You can get a hold of me on Instagram if you'd like to buy one. They're $40 with shipping included. The shipping is $17, so it's not like I'm trying to price gouge anybody. Wow, thank you so much. I did not expect that. I was just talking with one of my buddies, and it's sad to see some of these Instagram accounts that will rip videos from other people. And I mean, I guess they give them credit or whatever. That's cool. But the sole purpose of their account, it seems like, is to monetize it and throw some kind of super, I don't know what the right word for it is, but it's not really clothes you want to wear. And my theory behind the hat was just I wanted to make something that represented what I was doing and something that was cool to wear and kind of like a pun or something like that. I don't know. I like kind of the clothing side of things and making stuff that people like. You know, it doesn't have to be a large group of people, but I'm into the subculture. I like it. I just want to make stuff that I would like to wear or I would like to see. Um, Maybe some more stuff coming in that way. It was cool that you guys bought a hat, and it helped me out a lot. So I'd like to say thank you. Shipped those out earlier this week, so they should be coming to you if you don't have them yet. But this Ripsaw hat, I mean, come on, bingo, bango, bongo. I bought all kinds of stuff from them. I bought multiple bars. Set my 500i there, which is doing awesome. I also got a saw from Joe Johnson, which is a ripper. It's a 440. It's carbureted. There's no electronic fuel injection in that thing. It's all carburetors adjusted manually, which is different from me, but I want to be the computer. There's been a lot of computers in my life, and I think it's time for me to be the computer a little bit. It's cool to run. I love running it. I'm gonna be getting a top handle from Ripsaw too, and I'm kind of excited for it. So that's coming down the pipeline. It'll probably be a while. And just I'm gonna keep posting the tree content. I don't know what I try to hit kind of my feelings on the business side of the house. Is it can be hectic. There's some kind of reverb. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the recording. I hope not. Maybe I turn the gain down. I really hope you can't hear that in the audio. Turn the main down, Skid Row. I think that's better. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in post. Yeah, business side of the house is if you don't have jobs lined up, you don't do work. That's kind of how it is. But I'm getting after it. I'm doing something every day. I'm editing a video every day, doing this podcast. The hats were cool. Paying for leads is hard because you never know what you're going to get, and it's a lot of wasted time. I feel like if somebody comes to your website, it's a little bit more like a direct lead. It's not somebody who's looking to get landscaping done or something like that. I don't know. Does that work better? Like, it's not somebody who's looking to get landscaping done. Something else I wanted to hit on is like, don't get me wrong, I like making videos and stuff, but jumping from the corporate world to the tree space, the main reason I started making videos is Instagram now is really kind of like a resume. And with videos on Instagram, you can show your competence to your customer, or if you need a job somewhere, that you could show them, hey, I'm proficient in these skills. I never ever expected to have the videos kind of go how they've been going. I mean, it's awesome that you guys support it. And I'm here for it, and I'm so much gratitude. I don't even know what to say. I think maybe some people are probably starting to think the Let It Run Instagram account is turning into a meme page. So I gotta post a podcast to show you guys that I'm still here, and thank you for hanging in there. The Instagram has had some growth recently. We're over 5,000 followers, which is insane. It's wild. Another thing I want to hit on is the Discord, which there's a growing number of people in there. And if you're in the Discord, thank you. I really like the community we have there. And I'm going to continue to post stuff there. And we're going to continue to learn because that's ultimately what the videos are about. It's about sharing information. It's not about followers or gaining clout. It's about, for me, the love of tree care and the love of, cutting timber and making hinge wood. That's why I choose to make videos, edit videos, to share information and put it out there. There's all kinds of guys putting out information. Another reason I do it is networking. I mean, if you want to get into the tree space, go look at the people I follow on Instagram. It's all heavy hitters. It's all people who pretty much know what they're doing. And that's where the social media world is different. I'm trying to figure out the right words to say, but not all the time in the real world do people have the skills that they present. And for me, I just want to be honest. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know. And if I have a question about something, I'm going to ask it, because I heard a long time ago that, closed mouths don't get fed. If you have a question about something, ask it. And people might, think you're a novice or whatever. I'm still new to this industry, and I have no issues saying that. I'm not a how-to guy. I don't, I'll post videos on how to do knots and stuff like that, but I'm not telling people how to cut timber. I'm new. Kind of like Joe Dirt. He's like, I'm new. That's me, you know. I'm not eating any apple cores, but um, I'm still trying to figure this thing out like everybody else. I don't have 20 years of experience. I haven't been doing it professionally that long, and the main goal is just to share information. So I appreciate that people follow, but I don't want people to think that followers are a sign of experience, because it's not. For me, it's not. I don't. I think when I started getting into Instagram and stuff like that, I thought that, but the more I was around it, the more I started to see signs, and some people have pointed some stuff out to me too. But followers don't always equate to real life experience, and I never want to portray something that I'm not. But I will never stop sharing information, or, the latest gear, the latest gadgets or whatever. The Milwaukee saw, um I think it's cool. I do like it. I think it's probably one of the better e-saws. That's what I'm gonna start calling them, e-saws, electronic saws. I just don't know if they're for me. I like the fact that you don't have to pull it every time, but there's something about, you have to be pushing on it to make it cut. And I've only used the Milwaukee saw, but from what I've seen from other videos, it seems like all of them are heavy. So I think I was a little too hard on the Milwaukee saw for that. And the 12 amp hour battery, I mean, it lasts a while. But I did an elm a while ago, and it only got halfway. It only did half of the tree for a 12 amp hour battery. It was fully charged. I mean, I don't want to shit on it, but I just have a problem when. Don't get me wrong. I love Milwaukee tools. I think their advertising could be a little better. Like, I don't think they have to church it up as much as they are. I have a ton of Milwaukee tools, but what they do on their marketing sometimes is just, it's different. Like, from some of the tests I've seen online, it just kind of seems like they're they're padding these tests a little bit. Like it says right on the box that it's faster than it says faster than a 35cc saw or something like that. It's total bogus. I put it up against the 201 with the same chain, same bar, pretty much. The Milwaukee bar is the same as the 043 Oregon chain. It's the same exact thing with that profile, and the 201 destroyed it stock. Wasn't even a competition. So I think some of the stuff that they're putting on the box, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too weird about it, but I just wish there was a little bit more honesty there. Maybe it is faster than a 201 with a 3/8 normal chain. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep it by the chipper, and if I have to do like a little removal, it's really cool for smaller jobs. Don't get me wrong, I'm not totally discounting it. I do like the saw. And the 440 from Joe, it's a sweet saw. It's it rips. I kind of lost my train of thought and went on a wild goose chase with what I was talking about. But yeah, the social media thing, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep sharing information and getting after it. Hopefully, I get some cool jobs to share with you guys. I think this will be our 6th episode. Yeah, 6 episodes. Started 4 months ago. I'm going to be back on the bi-weekly schedule. I really appreciate you guys sticking in there and hanging around, not just ditching me. Hopefully that reverb isn't bad in the beginning. A lot of people that I learn tree stuff from, and I pull different information in, and that's another bonus of social media is you have access to all this information. I try to stay positive and out of the negative stuff, and some people get me from time to time, but for the most part, I'm using it as a learning tool and a networking tool, and just kind of eating up all the good information I can. And another thing that you have to think about is what is good information and what is maybe not so good information, like techniques that probably I shouldn't be using. And that is up to the individual. I'm no one to tell anyone what is the right technique or that is stupid. I just want to post what I'm doing, and that's it. I'm not gonna release a guide on how to do something because in my mind, I feel that I'm not an instructor. I'm just a guy who watches videos on the internet. I mean, there's so many people on YouTube to learn from, and it's up to you to determine what is good information and what is bad information. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Whoa! I got to go to the gym. Okay. Yeah. If you're listening, I think I just broke my chair because I'm too fat. I got to start rope walking more or something. Jeez. I'm going to leave that in just for you as a special treat. Yeah, and just to echo the social media thing, I think there's we can do a lot more to kind of lift each other up, and just not just talk about it to be about it. I like to, I don't know. I think we can do a lot more to lift each other up. That's the whole point of this podcast is I want to share my experience doing something because I know there's probably somebody else out there who's not happy in their situation, whether it be with their work or in their life or whatever. I'd like to give somebody some kind of blueprint of how to go from being unhappy working every day to being happy every day. And I don't know if, trees are that thing for someone else, but I just want to show kind of a prototype of how to do it successfully. Maybe I took the leap too soon, but how I'm doing it is for, I don't know, probably the last 5-6 years in the corporate world. I've been doing side jobs every weekend, I've sacrificed a lot of times with friends and family about going to do, I don't know, pool parties and going to the bar, or, Sally's birthday. I've skipped some of that stuff to do tree jobs and to focus on my career, and focus on and starting a business and learning a skill set. I don't know that college is the answer anymore. I don't know that it was the answer when I went to college. Some people don't jive that way. I don't think, and I don't think I was that person. I had to really apply myself in college to get passed in some of the classes. I've never really been, I don't know, the school person, or maybe I just didn't really feel the need to apply myself because I didn't see the real life application. I don't know. Just kind of random thoughts there. But I don't think that school is for everybody. So, like, my little brother just graduated high school. He started his own lawn care business. He wants to be an entrepreneur, and I think that is admirable. I wish I would have had that ability when I was in high school. Not saying that I didn't. I just wish I would have been that smart. Or I wish I would have had the foresight to do that. But you can't take back time. And I don't think an education is ever a hindrance. The student loans are. The student loans are negatively impacting my life. I can tell you that. But that was also my decision to take those out. And everybody in the school system says, you got to go to college. I was in college prep classes in high school. And if the kids who told the teachers, I'm not thinking about going to college, I'm going to go straight into the workforce, there was always seemed like a disdain for those kids or something. And looking back at that as an adult now, it's super lame for these teachers and stuff to look at kids and kind of cast judgment on them for not wanting to take the traditional route of taking thousands of dollars out and paying for an education that they don't even want, or that won't work in their field. There's countless people who don't work anywhere within their 4-year degree. I know accountants who don't do accounting. They work somewhere else, or they work at a car dealership. I'm not saying that, school is wrong. I don't think that you should do nothing, because idle time is the devil's playground from what I've heard. But I think you should be working on something or building a skill set. And I think people really are not taking the time to develop a passion or figure out what they're passionate about. I knew I was unhappy the first couple years into my corporate life. I don't know. I think I started making $16 an hour with a 4-year degree, thousands of dollars in student loan debt. And I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to get out of this mountain of debt. There's got to be a better way. And over time, my salary increased and stuff like that. But even if you come out making $80K a year, that's a long time of paying loans back, when you could go to a trade school and within 5 years, you're good to go. No debt. There's a lot of trades that interest me. I really want to get into welding. I think that's a skill that would be useful, because shit breaks, right? You got to be able to, TIG some stuff up or make some stuff up. I think there's a lot of benefit to knowing some of these skills. And so what I'm really passionate about is learning. I'm passionate about learning not in a school environment. It's hard to say, I'm passionate about learning skill sets, but I have to be interested in the skill set. They're not teaching welding in high school. And those classes are pretty hard to get into if you don't have a vocational program or something like that. We did. I just wasn't smart enough to know that I needed that when I was in high school. If I had it to do over again, I'd probably try to get into a welding a welding vocational class or something like that. Who, in what scenario is it not beneficial to know how to put a piece of metal on another piece of metal? I can't think of any. In a blue collar world, that skill set's invaluable. There's all kinds of trade stuff that interests me. So I'm passionate about learning. I think maybe kids need to realize that just because they don't like what's going on in school or they don't like the material that they're being presented with in a traditional classroom doesn't mean that they're stupid. It doesn't mean that they don't, that learning is dumb or everybody there is nerds. I think you just have to spend the time to figure out what interests you. You have to do self-reflection and realize what makes you happy. And you have to have the humility to say, I don't have this current skill set. What do I need to do to humble myself to be able to take in new knowledge? I don't know. I just kind of went off, but that's kind of where my headspace is at right now. And I would like to get into welding. I just don't have the time right now. I like doing things that there's no point of arrival. I learned a long time ago that there's not, as soon as you think you've accomplished something and you start to slack off a little bit or you think you've arrived, that's the time to be scared, really. That's the time you're going to get taken off your pedestal or something's going to happen or you're going to fall off. It happens. There is no arrival. And I think it's important to keep your world small and not try to make things so big. Like, I want to start a company. I want to have 15 employees. And if all you think about when you have no employees is I need to get to 15 employees, you're going to have a bad time because you need to have one employee first. You need to focus on the day-to-day operations. You need to focus on getting another job. You need to focus on your advertising. And that's another thing is when you're a small business owner, hey, I'm HR. I'm marketing. I'm the CEO, the COO, the owner, the insurance guy. I'm IT. I'm search engine optimization guy. I'm the video editor. I'm everything. So a lot of it, you have to take responsibility for yourself and you have to have the humility to know where you're deficient. I do not have the best business skills. I am not the best with money. But I do have a work ethic. And I'm not going to give up. I think it's important to have the mindset of always learning and always growing. Because if you have the mentality that there's nothing you can't learn and there's nothing you can't do, the business side of the house will come. The money management skills will come. The jobs will come. Over time, it's not guaranteed. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But for the first time in my life, it's like I really have faith in this and I really have faith in the skill set that I'm developing. There's no way it can fail unless I stop or give up. It's definitely probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. For sure. The hardest thing I've ever done. My hands in the pot on everything, setting it all up. It's all on you as the business owner to get it done, to manage those customer relationships, to make sure your skill set matches what you said your estimate does. Sometimes that doesn't always add up. And you have to, as a business owner, you have to recognize that and make the right call on estimates and doing the right thing. Kind of doing word vomit a little bit on this one, and I think I kind of covered it all, but that's kind of the state of the way things are going. I'm going to get another saw coming here pretty soon. Might be seeing a little bit more of this Ripsaw stuff. I'm excited to work with those dudes. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be the start of something really cool. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for taking the time and watching the video. If you're on the video platform, if you're only listening, thanks for being here and listening. I really appreciate the comments. I really appreciate the engagement. It's this will probably come out on the 13th, which is cool. Appreciate that. I hit on the Let It Run YouTube. I'm going to link all of those. The Discord, if you're into tree service and you want to learn some more cool stuff, there's all kinds of categories on the Discord. It's free. Anybody can join it. You can use any name you want to. The Discord is cool. What else? Yeah, everything's been rocking and rolling. It's just time to really double down and start to get after it. I almost forgot, but I didn't forget. It's time to share a record. This is a classic. Great American music right here. This is a classic album. It's a greatest hit album. So the cool thing with records is if you get a greatest hits, there's a lot of songs that you like on them. And some albums don't have all the best songs, but the greatest hits are cool because it's kind of like a cheat code and there's a bunch of good songs on there. And this is one of my favorite bands. It's Creedence Clearwater Revival. It's the greatest hits album. I mean, come on. That's America's band. Susie Q, I Put a Spell on You. Bad Moon Rising. Ooh, just Fortunate Son. I mean, come on. Hey Tonight. All these are bangers. And one of my favorite songs of all time, Someday Never Comes. It's the truth. So if you've never heard of CCR, get out from your rock and start listening to good music. There's 2 vinyls in here. That's what the inside looks like. There's something about music you can physically touch. Everybody's all on the streaming stuff now, and it's like these are pieces of art. And it's cool to have something to hold on to. It's like it's tangible. It's not just a streaming number. It's like you can really look at the music and you can get another perspective of the artist. I mean, yeah. John Fogerty, Tom Fogerty, Stu Cook, Doug Clifford, all the way from 1967. I wasn't even alive then. Great music. I've never heard a CCR song and been like, oh, that made me in a worse mood. But yeah, I mean, I'd play you some, but nobody wants to strike. You know what I mean? Everybody loves CCR. I don't know one person who's like, nah, I don't like CCR. If they do, it's communism is what that is. They don't like CCR. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for sticking around for the album. Catch you on the next one.